All right, so I'm at the theater. I'm about to go in and see Five Nights at Freddy's. I'm really interested to see what this will be like. I haven't played the games. I know they've already made the Banana Splits movie and Willy's Wonderland, which are sort of similar concepts, and so hopefully this will be better than the Banana Splits movie. It's PG-13, and both of those movies are rated R, so I don't know what to expect from that. But I guess we'll find out. All right. All right, so I just saw Five Nights at Freddy's, and it is not what I was expecting. I have some thoughts, but let's go back to the bar and talk about it. Five Nights at Freddy's, the long-anticipated adaptation of the hit video game, is a competently made yet exceedingly dull and disappointing attempt to translate the thrills of the game to the big screen. Regrettably, the film becomes a protracted exploration of trauma, offering less robot mayhem than one might have hoped. I wanted to see possessed animatronics kill people in fun and interesting ways, but the death scenes are dull and artlessly censored to ensure a PG-13 rating. PG-13 horror could work very effectively when done right, but this film is slow, and instead of running with the goofy concept implied by the designs of the animatronic antagonists, the film instead chooses to focus on the tedious inner turmoil of our one-note protagonist. The question is, why? Most of the fans of the game are old enough to watch R-rated movies at this point. I mean, the film was in development for 8 years. Yes, young kids will see this PG-13 horror movie, but they also play the games, and the robots are much more frightening there. In part because you only ever see them locked in staring place, waiting for you to look away before they move again. In this film, they just sort of lumber around. The movie makes a huge miscalculation in turning them into misunderstood monsters. Jim Henson's Creature Shop's work on Freddy and the other animatronics capture the malevolent absurdity of the characters from the game. Mary Stuart Masterson and Matthew Lillard, who shows up in what equates to basically an extended cameo, bring life to their two-dimensional roles, but it's not enough to salvage the film from its lingering, trauma-driven narrative. There's an overabundance of story elements, dream sequences, exposition, and first-act build-up that overpower the film's potential for sheer fun. The jump scares, while abundant, fall flat, and the film resorts to genre cliches like creepy children and an exposition-dispensing police woman. It briefly shows promise when Mike begins his security detail inside the deserted restaurant, but it quickly reverts to a series of convoluted subplots that pile up and weigh the film down. The animatronic animals add a layer of unpredictability, but don't deliver the expected suspense. It's not until the film's climax that the story reveals the true nature of the animatronics, their connection to past child murders, and their sinister intention. The film overall seems unsure how seriously to take the Five Nights at Freddy's concept, and the film's inability to strike a consistent tone leaves the audience perplexed. It awkwardly oscillates between straight-faced speeches about childhood trauma to cartoonish kids' movie-level goofiness, tonally awkward and dull, unraveling a mystery that's as predictable as it is uninteresting. The film is 1 hour and 50 minutes, and it feels longer. Five Nights at Freddy's had the potential for thrilling, inventive horror, but it loses its focus, opting for tedious character development over imaginative scares. And now I'm going to discuss the plot of the film, and this will contain spoilers, so be warned. The story introduces us to Mike, portrayed by Josh Hutcherson, a struggling young man who is trying to keep custody of his younger sister, Abby, played by Piper Rubio. After having difficulty finding work, Mike reluctantly accepts a security job at the long-abandoned Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, a once vibrant establishment featuring animatronic animals. One might assume that the film would serve a series of escalating and alarming confrontations with these scary machines. However, they decided to take a different path, instead delving into a mystery surrounding the long-ago kidnapping of Mike's brother. Mike believes that inducing REM sleep will help uncover repressed memories related to the incident. Instead of plunging us into the spine-tingling night shift we signed up for, this film seems hell-bent on avoiding the dark. Then of course there are the animatronics. While they'll defend the pizzeria like it's their sworn duty when someone tries to rob the place, they roll out the red carpet for Mike and even babysit Abby during one of the so-called perilous nights. The story unfolds at a fairly leisurely pace until we approach the ending, at which point Vanessa lays out all of the details in her Bond villain speech, explaining that these animatronics are haunted by the souls of murdered children stuffed inside their suits, the same kids who've been haunting Mike's dream. Now they want to do the same to Abby. All this evil puppetry is orchestrated by the man responsible for their demise, Vanessa's dad, William Afton. Vanessa's role is to lure unsuspecting security guards to their doom. On top of that, William Afton was apparently the one who kidnapped and murdered Mike's brother, but the movie decides not to bother with the details of that, which maybe is for the best because it doesn't actually make sense. In a sudden change of heart, Vanessa decides to switch sides, likely due to Abby's involvement. This revelation forces Afton to step into the spotlight, donning a grubby rabbit suit, and it turns out that William Afton is actually Matthew Lillard's character from the beginning of the movie. At this point, things seem pretty grim, but our heroes manage to rally Freddy and the other ghostly animatronic children against Afton, using Abby's drawings to communicate with them, and leading to a showdown where he meets a fitting end, just like his past victims, trapped inside one of his own suits. It foils his plans for now and brings the movie to a close, but this will probably make him more powerful in any subsequent sequels. And given that this is a Blumhouse film, a sequel seems more of a question of when rather than if. In the end, Five Nights at Freddy's is a missed opportunity. While it may entertain a younger audience, it falls short of delivering the chilling experience expected by long-term fans of the game. The animatronics, originally the stuff of nightmares, end up being misunderstood monsters with an adaptation of their origin story that feels flat. Well, that's the end. I hope you liked this video. If you did, can you please hit the like button? You can also subscribe to the channel and ring the bell to be notified whenever I upload a new video. And until next time, keep on creeping.